everybody, welcome back to another morning word. Thanks for joining us this morning. For those new to this is where I share a couple-minute video, really just sharing from my own personal Bible study. Why? Because I want to see your life go from here to here, because God has done it in me, and I believe truly God wants to do it in you. And the way I did it was renewing my mind in the good book, and that's how you can do it too. So the Bible God really says this. He says, listen, I come to give you life more abundantly. And the way that we do that, as I said, is as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you want to get through the valley, you want to get to the mountaintop, you've got to start thinking like God, because there's nothing that is impossible for God, which means there is nothing that is impossible for you. So let's really get into this and start renewing your mind. Please take notes and please take action. Listen, don't watch these videos and not take action. This is all about application, not about education. All right, so let's really get into this. We're going to be reading from the book of Judges, which is the 7th book of the Bible, and we're going to be reading from chapter 11 verse 1, and it reads this. Jephthah the Gileadite was a mighty warrior, and his father was Gilead, and his mother was a prostitute. I'm going to call this morning's word, your background is not your future. Your background is not your future. Now, when you're born, okay, you may not have been born into a perfect family, very much like this guy, but a dysfunctional one that may not give you the best start. So you may be in a situation where your family is all crazy, and you're like, why am I born into this world? Understand this guy. You know, Jephthah, who was a mighty warrior, okay, his mom was a prostitute. You know, that's not the kind of thing that you want to be saying at school, like, yo, what happened to you? Well, my dad had an affair with a prostitute, and that's my background. I think that's probably a disadvantage of a start. That was a dysfunctional start, if there was ever one. Okay, so for that child growing up knowing that you were just you were the son of an affair and the son of a prostitute, not the greatest things that you're going to be bragging about. So, you know, one of the things sometimes that can happen for us, if you just hold that, so I'm just going to change the lighting, stay there. Sorry about that, the lighting wasn't great there. One of the things that for a lot of us, we have been born into situations where our upbringing hasn't been the greatest. Maybe your father wasn't around, or your mom wasn't around, or maybe you didn't have either parents, or if both your parents were there, you know, they weren't the best of parents for whatever reason. And I've seen so many kids growing up in drugs and abusive environments and stuff like that. So you had the worst starts. But I want to show you something. In this story, this guy's background didn't determine his future. And that's what I would be saying to you, is that your background doesn't determine your future. You can still go on to be amazing, and God doesn't have any barriers to your success. Not your background, not your parents, or anything. God can still use you. So that really leads us to the question of the morning. The question of the morning is this: do you think your background determines your future? Do you think your background determines your future? Here's a lesson of the day. If you didn't have a great start due to poor parenting, lack of parenting, or maybe unfortunately no family at all, etc., don't see it that your start in life will determine your future. Don't see it like that. You're not a mistake. However you come into the world and the family that you come into, God knew that you were going to come into that family. God knew it and ordained from the beginning of the world, so you're not a mistake. Understand that. Jephthah, who was born to a prostitute, was not a mistake. God will use your past, will use your upbringing to elevate you to your future. So that really leads to the action of the day. The action of the day is this: forget your past, don't worry about it, and press on to your future, knowing that your background, okay, is not a sign of your future. Your background doesn't determine your future, you do. Okay, so you may not have started well, but finish well. You may not have started well, but finish well. So God bless you. As we always say with Gen Hope, God's gift to us is life. What we do with that life is our gift back to God. Please, please, please share this with one person. And I don't mean necessarily share the video, share the principle. Share the principle that you may know somebody whose background wasn't great and they feel that they'll never make it because they're not good enough. Let them know that their background can actually be the very thing that elevates them to the next level. And God has no barriers to your success. So God bless you. We'll look forward to seeing you for another Morning Word, Monday to Friday, YouTube. God bless you.